Hey everyone, this is Bartholomew with I Am Not a Critic because I'm not a critic. I love movies, I like to watch them. I will just tell you my opinion on it and I'll tell you if it's worth watching or it's not. So, the film I'm going to review today will be One Night in Miami. Before I get too much into it, let's go ahead and play the trailer.
Ready for tonight?
I'm as ready as a person can be. After the fight, we're all coming back here for the champ's victory party. Don't be late.
Minister Malcolm X. Good news, the chariot is coming.
You know I'm the greatest. That's right.
Jim Brown takes the ball.
Your record is going to stand the test of time.
How's everybody feeling tonight?
All together, yeah.
New heavyweight champion of the world.
Say, champ, you don't suppose you could sign an autograph?
Yeah, of course, man. Give him an autograph, Jim.
Actually, Mr. Cook.
Oh, sure thing, brother.
Oh, yeah, that's the sound.
Don't you think it's about time to party?
Tonight is a chance for us to reflect.
You mean no one else is coming? Well, this is off to a hopping start.
You all are a bright and shining future. You need to understand what is at stake here.
Everything's not so black and white like you make it out to be.
But we are fighting for our lives.
You know I know what's going on out there, right?
Listen, listen. Brothers and sisters, listen, listen, listen.
Miami, the champ!
I swear we'll never find a way to where we're going all alone.
The goal is for us to really be free.
When you hear the bells ring out,
We want a world
speak now,
where we're safe to be ourselves.
speak now. I told him. Can you hear the angels cry out?
To think like we want.
Speak now,
Without having to answer to anybody for it.
speak now.
We have to be there for each other.
Who's the greatest?
Can you hear the angels?
You brothers could move mountains without lifting a finger.
Now, this movie is now streaming on Amazon Prime. Now, Amazon Prime, they're doing their thing now. They're starting to put a little bit more of a diverse TV show, a little bit more diverse TV shows and movies. The last film I reviewed that was on Amazon Prime was Sylvie's Love. And I gave that movie a classic. So also, I'm going to change the way I rate things. So the A through D, A, B, C, D, F, that's kind of a little bit too generic. So what I'm going to do, I'm doing a little bit different. So the scale would be classic, which is the best film. It's going to go down in history as one of the films you have to watch. Second one is dope. It's a good movie. There's a few things I didn't like about it, but it's a very good experience to watch it. Third one is cool. It was all right. I'll watch it. May not watch it again. May watch it again. Rental meaning I watched it once and will never watch this again. I will live and be fine without watching it again. So that will be the rental. Trash is do not waste your time watching this movie. Sometimes people have their own opinion. Some people will like the films I watch. Some people won't like the films I watch. Sometimes I'll say it's horrible. People will end up liking it. But that just again, it's just my opinion on it. You can watch it and just go by, what do you feel? So, One Night in Miami. Now, this film is a great film. It was beautifully made. The color scheme was great. Music, I am a diehard music lover. I'm telling you, I love this film. I love music. Last film also I reviewed with my family was Soul. They also have music in there. One of my favorite genres of music is jazz and how they put it together. So basically, this film is taken back in February 25th, 1964, around Cassius Clay. Well, Cassius Clay was, as you guys know, it's Muhammad Ali, but he was still Cassius Clay around this time. It was around the Sonny Liston fight. Me and my dad used to watch that. It was ESPN Classics. They used to play live classic boxing highlights and everything. I used to love that. Muhammad Ali was the greatest. He is. He was cocky, he was arrogant, but he could back it up.
Ain't that right? He ain't lying.
So it's centered around Cassius Clay, who was played by, what's his name? Eli Gore. I have never heard of this guy before, but when I say that he's probably one of the best Muhammad Ali's ever seen, no offense to Will Smith or that guy from Godfather Harlem, but this guy, he embodied it. Because sometimes when people play Muhammad Ali, they just mock him. They kind of emulate him, mimic him, I should say. And he kind of didn't overdo it. People overdo it with his voice and how his facial expressions, because Muhammad Ali was actually a very expressive person, but how Eli Gore did it, he kind of just let it be like a natural feeling of Muhammad Ali. You actually can see it. Also, Malcolm X is played by Kingsley Ben Adir. I'm sorry if I butchered it, but I seen him in Showtime limited series. It's called The Comey Rule. So it's basically about Jim Comey and a situation with him and that guy who just left the White House. Yeah, Donald Trump. He played Barack Obama in there.
You garnered a lot of attention for taking on the mob as prosecutor and defending the DOJ in '04.
I suppose that's true.
You need a lot of attention?
It's not a huge driver for me.
No interest in politics down the line?
None.
Good. Politicians are awful. Advisor of mine says you were an outstanding deputy AG.
Thank you.
He also says you can be self-righteous
and he did an awesome job playing him. I did not know Malcolm X was a photographer. I know I did see the Malcolm X film by Spike Lee. He had the camera, and he used to take pictures and stuff when he was over there in Egypt. It was actually pretty great. He did an awesome job as Malcolm X. Also, it's centered around Jim Brown, played by Aldous Hodge. You may also seen him in Straight Outta Compton. He played MC Ren. Also, he's going to be the new Hawkman in the Black Adam film that's coming out possibly this year, possibly next year. I know they're working on it. Hopefully, they be able to, play it in theaters, because I was looking forward to this film for a while. Last but not least, Leslie Odom, who played Sam Cooke. Yes. I've been wanting to see him in movies for so long. He was in the Ali film for a brief moment. He was in the introduction in that movie. You didn't see too much to it. He was just singing. But Leslie Odom, who's also in Hamilton, he did a great job. I love Sam Cooke. I grew up listening to him, and his story is amazing. I won't get too much into it, but what you can do is go on Netflix, and there's a documentary regarding him and how his life was. It's pretty sad. It's directed by none other than Regina King. This is her directing debut. I think she might have directed a few episodes of Watchmen on HBO, but she did an awesome job regarding this. So basically, this is right after the fight of St. Liston. These four guys was actually best friends. I didn't know that. There are pictures you can watch online where there are actual pictures of them together and everything, but I didn't know they were close like that. It's also during the transition from Cassius Clay going into Muhammad Ali. So he was transitioning to the Nation of Islam. They just speak about that, how Cassius Clay was kind of hesitant a little bit. Didn't know that, I thought he just was going into it, without hesitant, but yeah. So I don't want to get too much into it. I do spoiler-free reviews, as you know, but how they show the dynamic of these four friends and showing them how they were back in the day. And when it comes to Jim Brown, and I didn't know too much about him. I know he was a football player, and then he was a little bit of an actor as well. But you never see him portrayed in different films. But when I'm able to see him as the way they showed him in the film, it was actually pretty well done. I should say, great film. Right now, again, is streaming on Amazon Prime. I hopefully this film gets nominated for an Oscar or a Golden Globe or something, because how they were able to put things together and show these four friends and that dynamic of living in 1964, Jim Crow, and showing a different side of Muhammad Ali, aka Cassius Clay, and how he was a young Cassius Clay. He was all hyper and everything. But yes, I will definitely say this movie is a classic. Yes, I know that's big, because that's the highest grade right there. This is a classic. Go watch it. It's actually based on a play. I did not know that. It's based on a play written by Kemp Powers, who also co-written the movie Soul. Now, this guy was in his bag when he wrote this. So, yes, go ahead and support this. You won't waste your time with it because it's on Amazon Prime. So, you don't have to worry about spending too much money unless you got to spend money on the streaming services. But go and watch it. Classic. So, that's it. Let me know what you what you think about it. If you've seen it, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you later.